All right, let's get right into it. What if I told you there's a user manual for reality itself? And what if that manual has been kept from you on purpose?
I mean, just think about it. What if you, right now, have a biological system, a literal hidden organ that isn't just for living in reality, but for controlling it? One that's designed to broadcast your thoughts, your intentions, and turn them into, well, reality.
And here's the kicker. What if the systems that run our world, the big corporations, the algorithms deciding what you see, what if they've always known this and have spent your entire life training you, conditioning you to just sit back and receive their version of reality instead of creating your own? So, this is the first big shift we need to make. We've basically been taught to use our own hardware all wrong. Okay, so the biggest lie we've all been sold is that your mind and your body are two different things, right? Thoughts are just up here in your head, and actions are what you do out there. But that's not just wrong, it's a total misdirection. The truth, your brain and your hands are one single connected bioelectric system. You're not meant to just sit there and take in information. You're a transmitter. You were built to broadcast a signal. And look, before you think this is all some kind of mysticism or fluffy thinking, it's not. This is hard science. This is documented biology and neuroscience that, for some reason, they just never seem to put all together for us in one place. Get this. Nearly 40% of your brain's motor cortex, that's the part that controls all your voluntary movements, is dedicated just to your hands, fingers, and wrists. 40%. Not your legs for running, not your core, your hands. You have to ask, why? Why would evolution do that? Well, it's because your hands are the main pipeline, the bridge between a thought in your head and a thing in the real world. And this freaky-looking guy perfectly illustrates the point. This is called a cortical homunculus. It's basically a map of your body drawn to scale based on how much brain power is dedicated to each part. And just look at the size of those hands. They're gigantic. They are your high-speed connection, your main port for turning thoughts into reality. Every single idea you've ever made real, it all flowed through them. And the system your hands control, it's all electric. I mean, literally. Your mirror neurons? They fire the same way whether you're doing something or just imagining it. Your bones? They actually generate electricity every time you move. Your skin's conductivity, the thing they use in lie detectors, changes based on your mental state. And then there's your fascia, this web that runs through your whole body, communicating faster than your own nerves. The point is, you're not just a solid lump of matter. You're a living, breathing, dynamic bioelectric field. And you know what's crazy? None of this is actually new. Modern science is really just catching up, rediscovering a kind of technology that ancient cultures understood and were using thousands of years ago. Think about the ancient yogis and mystics. We tend to dismiss them as superstitious, but they weren't. They were like early scientists. They were experimenters. They figured out and wrote down exactly how certain hand positions, what they called mudras, could literally change your state of consciousness. They knew that if you change the shape of your hands, you change the signal your entire body sends out. This wasn't just symbolic stuff. It was a set of bioelectric protocols. Which brings us to this famous old saying, as within, so without. That's not just some nice poetic phrase. It's actually a description of physics. It's a literal instruction manual. What happens within you, in your mind, is the program. And what you do without, with your hands, is what seals that program into reality. Okay, so how do we actually use this thing? How do we become the operator? Well, it boils down to a kind of control panel with 4 switches that you have to flip all at the same time. And this is the key. All 4 have to be aligned. First, you got to calm your nervous system down, get it out of that chaotic, stressed out state. Second, you have to change the words you use inside your own head. Third, you need a crystal clear mental picture of what you want. And fourth, you seal the deal with a physical action. When you get all 4 of those lined up perfectly, bam, you're broadcasting a super clear, super powerful signal, an intention that reality, well, it can't help but respond to. Let's just zoom in on that second switch, your internal code. The way you talk to yourself is everything. It's the frequency you're broadcasting on. Just look at the difference here. When you say, I hope this works, you're broadcasting doubt. But I choose this outcome, that's a command. Saying, I don't want to fail, literally makes your brain think about failing. But I am succeeding, program success into you right now. This is way beyond simple positive thinking. This is programming your own frequency with precision. Okay, theory is great. But what do you do when you're in the middle of a crazy, stressful day and need to change things fast? I'm going to give you a super simple, super powerful protocol you can use anywhere, anytime to reset your system. Seriously, this takes 30 seconds. That's it. Step 1, breathe. 3 slow breaths. In for 5 seconds, out for 5 seconds, all through your nose. This is key. It flips on your body's rest and create mode. Step 2, as you're breathing, gently touch the tips of your thumb and index finger together. This creates a tiny electrical circuit in your body that's wired to your brain for focus. Step 3, the code. Every time you breathe out, say a simple I am phrase to yourself. I am calm. I am clear. And finally, just notice the feeling. A little warmth in your hands, a sense of quiet in your head. That's it. You've just hit the reset button, stopped the noise, and sent out a brand new, clear signal. So here's the bottom line. You've had the hardware your entire life. It came pre-installed. Now you have a piece of the user manual. So the only real question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep being a passive receiver, or are you finally going to step up and become the operator? Because the control panel, well, it's literally been in your hands this whole time.